tuna sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Tuna back again. Right, I'm basically going to sort of short reviews anyway of all the best games that I've played in 2022. It's not necessarily going to be all the big AAA releases because I haven't played a lot of them this year, but I've played a few and I've played a lot of shmups and various other things, and I just want to do an overview of pretty much the best things I've played this year. So we're going to start with this. I discovered this a few days ago, and it's pretty damn addictive. It's incredibly cheap, and you can get it on mobile phones. I know it's on Windows and Mac. I'm not sure if it's on any of the consoles. It might be, but it's Vampire Survivors. Basically, the idea of this, it's a sort of roguelike survival game where you got to collect I don't know, like diamonds or something, and you basically the more diamonds you get, you power up, and then when you hit a new level, you get to pick a power up, and basically you've got to survive as long as possible. You can carry stuff over. You get money as well, which you can collect in the game, and then you can use money to buy permanent upgrades, which I have here, which increase your stats. So obviously, the more and more you play it, the stronger and stronger you get. So we're just going to jump in there. I've unlocked a few characters. But I haven't actually bought them yet because you need money to buy those characters. So we're going to go with the classic Castlevania type character. So I've unlocked a couple of stages as well. I think you've got to get, I've got to get like a certain level, certain items or something to unlock the next stage. But we're just going to go with it. So the idea in this is basically you can't fire. It's basically fire on its own. And you walk around, the hordes of enemies keep coming in, and you've got to take hordes of enemies out before your energy bar depletes, and then it's game over. So those like blue diamonds I'm dropping there every time I'm killing something, if I start collecting them, eventually you get an upgrade, and then you can pick the upgrade you want. So far I've found that probably the most useful upgrade is the garlic. The garlic is fantastic. The cross is very good as well. And there's various weapon upgrades you can get. You can also power your weapons up as well. So when I get a double whip, so you can whip forward and back at the same time, as you'll see here, basically it gives me 2 whips. And then that doesn't increase, but I will get, you can increase the power on the whip. Because the longer you last, more and more crazy enemies start coming in, more basically harder and harder. So you've got to keep upgrading your weapons quite a lot. You can do the same with all the sub-weapons as well, like the cross I'm throwing now, you can upgrade that as well. Some of them you'll get multiple versions of those flying around. So I'm going to keep collecting a minute. It looks pretty simple at the moment, but this game gets crazy. The candelabra is quite good because all your augments, like the stuff you're throwing around, their area of attack gets better. So it hits more enemies. So second and third type enemy types are coming in now, so these are a little bit more harder to kill. You can get energy back, but you've got to find it. It's usually in the lamps or things, candelabras you'll find on different levels, and every now and then you might get a lamp. Sometimes you get special weapons. There's one that chucks flames out everywhere, which is really cool, especially on some of the big enemies that come on, or when you've got a horde following you around. There's other ones like it'll kill everything on screen. There's another weapon you can pick up that will collect all your diamonds. Because what you find is after you run around for a while, because you're trying to escape everything, there'll be diamonds all over the place, and the screen does screen wrap. So there's one item will pick up everyone around here. So we'll get the King Bible, which basically spins around me and attacks enemies. So you got a hard enemy there, the one bat. He'll take a fair amount of hits. But he'll drop a different coloured diamond. He'll drop a red diamond, I believe. And every now and then you'll get something like a crazy horde of enemies that'll come in, and you've got to get out of their way. But what that horde does, if you've got loads of stuff on screen at the same time when they come in, they'll push everything out of the way, so you can quickly just have loads of enemies pushed into you. But so I've played this game for quite a few hours now, and it is simple as this game actually looks. It is starting to get incredibly addictive, and I'm starting to play it quite a bit. And the longer you survive, I want to unlock all the levels and stuff on all the characters. And it does reward you for a lot of play as well, because you get the money, and some of the extra weapons and some of the really good stuff to have cost a lot of cash. There's also chests to pick up. Every now and then, like a big enemy will drop a chest. In there, it's just like a loot chest type thing, but you don't pay for it, obviously. And sometimes you can get like a single weapon out of a chest plus cash, if there's 90, or sometimes you get a triple weapon out of there plus cash. So they're the ones to get, and they give you loads and loads of cash. So I'm going to do the axe. So I'm not going to make these reviews very long, because the video will go 6 hours long. So anyway, that's Vampire Survivors. It's really cheap to pick up. It's like a couple of pounds. And if you've got Game Pass on PC, it's pretty much free. There is DLC for it, but I think it's about £1.50, which I ended up buying the DLC. As you can see, it's starting to get a big nuts already, and I've only been playing for 34 minutes. So the idea is to last as long as possible. Anyway guys, that's Vampire Survivor. That's definitely one to pick up and play, because I'm going to end up playing this game a lot. So let's move on to the next game. Right then, next game. Right, this is Infernax. This is a downloadable game. It's on Game Pass, or you can buy it on PC. I think it's on consoles as well. This is a Metroidvania in the old Castlevania type style. It's got really nice graphics and really good music, and it's got some really interesting things you can do in it. There's my main save. It is tell you how long I took to finish it. I can't remember how long I took to finish it. I think it was about 8 hours maybe by the time I wandered around trying to figure out what I was doing. It's worth mentioning this. There's a lot of secret stuff in this game. Some interesting secret stuff. There's my character. You can do something, and you can basically play through the game as a Contra character, so a bit of machine guns and stuff, instead of using your sort of Morning Star, which you end up killing things. So you can run like a Contra game. You can also use, almost looks like Jason Voorhees, and he's got a shotgun and a bat. So this game has loads of little homages back to old games, which is really nice. And the characters say things as well, which is really cool. So we'll continue. There's your main character. There you go, off he goes. The one thing I'll say about this game does have a good and evil type system to it. So depending on your answers and what you do for people, like for instance, right at the beginning of the game, I will tell you this one because it's interesting. First mini boss you come across, you've got a choice whether to kill it or let it go. If you kill it, you automatically start down the evil route. If you don't kill it and let it go, you start down the good route. But you can change that depending on your actions as you go, and then you get multiple endings. So I've only seen 2 of the endings. As you've seen, it changes to night, so it's got a day and night cycle, pretty much like Castlevania 2. So enemies get more enemies, and they're harder to kill at the night. So I'm pretty tooled at the moment. As you can see, this game is pretty gory. It's got loads of cool gore and stuff in it. Some of the monsters, especially bosses, will just drench the screen and you in blood and gore all over the place. They've really gone for it. It's surprising how much blood and gore is actually in this game. So if I pause it, I'll show you. These are the spells. You can buy these spells and you can get upgrades as you go along. These are the quests you can do for people. So I've pretty much done all the quests I've come across. And this is my extra weapons. I never actually found the full weapon. I think you've got to, if I remember right, I think you have to do something at the beginning of the game to get the new weapon. And there's your armor upgrades, and there's my little extras. You can basically get that, which basically is like a double jump essentially. Shoots you up near, which is really handy. Don't get that till later on. You've got a cast down attack as well, and there's a forward attack. I can't remember now how you do it. There's another attack that flies you forward as well, which all becomes useful for getting to certain areas in the game, and you will need to use it all. That is a save. Also, that is the map. It's a fair size map. The blue squares are the bosses and the dungeons. So, and then the green ones are the villages. Here's actual dungeons. I might just go through it at the moment because there's no boss there. So these are the dungeons, classic Castlevania, spikes on the ceiling, and various other enemies, flying enemies. You've got to collect keys and open doors and stuff to get to the bosses. I say this game is really good. It came out in I think it was February. It came out. I was a little bit late getting into it, but I couldn't stop playing it. I just ended up playing all the way through it, and I will end up playing through it like Contra. That'll be my next playthrough on you. I say it does reward you with multiple playthroughs with the fact that you get the different endings. So that's fine. I don't know whether there's any more secrets to this game. There might be. And after you can basically look it up and you can find out where all the things and stuff you've got to do. So yeah, there's a lot of replay value in this game. It plays really good. I really like the music on it. It's got some really nice music in this game, and it is a modern classic in some ways, especially if you like Castlevania. I say what took me ages to figure out how to get to that doorway up there. You can't literally get up this section for quite a while before you get in the game. But I'm pretty tooled at the moment, so you will find when you first start off, this game can be a bit tricky. It takes a bit of practice to learn enemy attacks, and you're obviously low on health, especially like when you do the first dungeon. But you know, you can persist with it and you can learn it, and it becomes really good fun. The bosses are not too hard actually. I know some people said they were having problems with them, but I didn't find them too difficult. You can talk to people in towns. This is where you buy your weapon upgrades, you get quests off people, and then you go off and do those quests. And generally where you can tool up on things like this guy gives you magic. You find him all over the map, a different version of him. There's also like little cults. You got the church, and there's like different cults. You can join them or not join them depending on your actions, and that can change the game to good or evil as well. So I don't want to show you too much of this because this game's definitely well worth playing. This is my little magic attack. It's my little familiar. He kicks ass. He was really handy on bosses because he'll go off and attack the boss himself. Like these guys, he'll just ruin it. I wouldn't even have to attack him. So yeah, so that's Infernax. Brilliant game, really enjoyed it. I am going to go through it as the Contra character. As he's putting me in my cash. Nice one. Very nice one indeed. Like I say, you do need cash to buy upgrades, and you do need like experience points to get mana and various things. The mana is pretty much what you use for your magic. So yep, really good game. Definitely check it out. I really enjoyed this, and well worth playing. So we're going back today. Right, so guys, let's go on to the next game. Right then guys, here's the next game. This is Gunvain by NGDev. NGDev have been making Neo Geo games for quite a few years. They started off making okay games, and they generally got better and better, and they hit Gunlord, and they were doing very well. Gunlord is an amazing game. If you like Turrican, definitely check that out. Come up a few years ago. But anyway, yeah, the latest games they've done, they did Crowdbuster for the Neo Geo, which is fantastic. And I really hope they release it on a console or PC, because no one's ever going to play it otherwise, which is a massive shame because it's really good. And they released Reshrined as well, which did come out on Switch last year, but hopefully that'll come to consoles and PC at some point as well, because that's also a very good shmup. But this is definitely the best shoot 'em up they have ever made. This is my pick for shoot 'em up of the year. For me, this is by far the best shoot 'em up I've played this year. It's very, 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 very good. There's been a lot of shmups, good shmups have come out this year as well, but this is definitely the cream of the crop. Not to say the others are bad either, mind, because the others are very good as well. So, online leaderboards and stuff. So I'll show you how it works. You do have tutorial modes in this as well, so if you've never played shoot 'em up, it'll teach you shoot 'em up basics like daft dodging, or I can't remember the name of it, going up the side of the screen and creating gaps in bullets. They knew what they were doing with this. They created a lot of stuff to explain things to newcomers and make it really good fun for veterans as well. So I haven't done the tutorials, so that's why it's coming up, so I'll skip that. So you've got a couple of modes to play. I've got normal mode, which is basically your arcade mode. 5 levels, and boss at the end of each level, and a big boss at the end. You've got your level select, so you can play an individual stage over and over, so you can practice it essentially. They do have a roguelike arrange mode, which is something incredibly interesting, which I don't think any shmup has ever done before. I could be wrong, but I don't think they have. This is literally, you start off with, so basically you start off with 2 lives, I think it is, and really terrible weapons, and you've got to go for as long as you can survive. So the games will keep going for the levels and everything, and for as far as you can survive. What happens is you kill certain enemies or a sub-boss or a boss, and the screen will pause. And then once the screen pauses, it gives you 3 options you can pick, 1 of 3. And it'll be like your bomb upgrade, a laser upgrade, a power upgrade, make the enemies harder, put more things on screen, make the game faster, and things like that. And you've got to keep killing these things and powering yourself up and then lasting longer and longer. It's a really fun mode. It's something unusual for a shmup, and it's cool that they've added it. And hopefully other games will do it as well, because that is quite a good idea. Very unique, and like I say, I don't think anyone's ever done that on a shoot 'em up before. But I could be wrong. You've got a mission mode. It says you can play various missions and tutorials and challenges and various things like that. But generally, you get a 2-minute. I can't remember how many minutes it is. It might be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes and a 6-minute. And then that, within that time limit, you've got to score as much as possible, and the challenge is to keep coming back and coming back. Caravan modes I find incredibly addictive. Once you start getting into scoring on them, you get addicted when you keep coming back and back and back. And you've got your practice mode where you can practice bosses and levels and safe and various other things, which is quite cool. So we are going to play the normal mode. You've got 3 characters. You've got Rico, who's your bog standard character, good all-rounder, pretty good lock-on weapon, good firing modes, medium speed. You've got your slow character, which has got the highest range lock-on lasers, and really good character. Doesn't kill enemies quite so fast, but you could stay at the bottom of the screen a lot of the time and dodge him. And you've got your high power, high speed, get in your face character, which is the one I like, Lizzie. So we're going to pick her. You've got 3 modes of difficulty. So, as you notice, this game has got very nice graphics. The graphics are very nice indeed. All the levels are well detailed and nice high resolution. You've got each ship has got its different normal firing. You've got your bomb. When I keep picking up bomb fragments, which you'll see them popping down the screen in a minute. Here's a bomb fragment, but there's secret bomb fragments in the backgrounds as well. You see like a flashing area. The more of them you pick up, it creates a bomb eventually, and you can collect 3 bombs in a row. But once you've got a 3rd bomb, you can't. When you keep collecting the tiles, you don't get anything for them. So the idea is to bomb a lot. When you do bomb as part of scoring, you see a flashing over there. If I bomb that now, I'll get one. As part of scoring in this game, if you bomb and kill enemies, you get lots of the star medals coming out of them. You can also, on bosses and mid-bosses, once their energy bar gets down to almost done, if you bomb, you'll get a massive burst of the star medals. So that's one part of the scoring in this game. The other part of the scoring in this game is you can chain enemies as well in this game, which I haven't got very good at doing, and that can add to your score as well. So I just been doing the boss scoring really at the moment, but that adds an extra sort of complexity to this game. Keep you coming back for more score. Oops, I use a bomb, I don't want it. So I'm playing this on the pad. I normally playing on the stick. But it plays. This game plays very well indeed. It's really well made. NG Dev definitely knew what they were doing with this game. They've put everything from the best shoot 'em ups in here. They've really thought on bullet patterns and enemy placements and scoring mechanics and various other things. There's probably stuff I don't even know about this game at the moment. It plays really well. The 3 characters do play quite different to each other. Tactics you need to get through the game are very different as you play them. It's just all round. It's incredibly well made game, and this is by far the best game they've done. The best shoot 'em up they've done by far anyway. They have done some other games I really like as well, but this is definitely the best shoot 'em up they've ever made. And they've created something special here, and I say I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is just as good as a cave game. It is super well made, like cave games are. I wonder if I can get an extra points off this boss. As you can see, there's some really nice things going on with the scoring. Yeah, it exploded. You can do that. You've got to keep an eye on it. It can be quite tricky sometimes to keep an eye on everything on the bosses to get. I got it. To get those extra medals out of them. So that's the first level. Like I say, it's a really well made game. I do like this a lot, and this is the best shoot 'em up that's come out this year. There are some other shoot 'em ups on the list, mine, which I am going to do little videos on as well. They're very good as well, and definitely deserve picking up. So there's a couple of shmups. You know me, I like some shmups. So this is the second level. A shout goes out as well to the actual music on this game. The music in this game is really good. It really suits the action. It really keeps the game pumping. It makes the game very exciting as you're playing it. It is very, very good. I say this character is all about getting basically in the enemy's faces. I say you can do a small charge, which basically doesn't shoot off. It's only right in front of the ship. But if you hold it for the big charge, you can shoot that charge off, and it'll go right up the top of the screen. If I fire up there, it'll go right up. Or you can use your bomb and get the extra things off these. You do get extra lives once you get certain scoring. So obviously, the more scoring, the more lives you get by the end of the game. On a proper normal run through, when you get to the last boss, you probably would have picked up 2 or 3 1-ups. So you do get a few lives. It's not too many, mind. Like I said, I haven't actually quite managed to get the 1cc yet. I definitely need to do some practicing. I say I've been playing Raiden Fighters. I got into playing that quite a bit. I say that's not going to be in the list because literally it didn't come out this year, but it'll get an honorary mention and mention in there. The sub-boss can sometimes give me a little bit of trouble. So anyway, guys, that is Gunvain. Well recommended. I'd say at the moment it's PC only. I think it was 15, 20 quid, something like that. Well worth its money. But it is coming to consoles in the new year. I'm not entirely sure when it is coming. So if you've got a PC and like shmups, I highly recommend picking this up. And if you've got a console, I'd wait until early. I think it's probably early next year. It's going to come out. It's coming out on Switch, Xbox, I think, and PlayStation. So it's pretty much going to be all on the main consoles, and it's definitely going to be picking up. And hopefully they'll do a physical release of it as well. Which, if they do, I might end up picking the physical release up. Possibly, maybe on the PlayStation. I might end up doing that. So anyway, guys, that's Gunvain. Highly recommended, and definitely the best shoot 'em up this year. Right. So let's move on to the next game. Right, guys, this is DoDo. This is a throwback to 80s arcade games. It came out this year. I think you can get it on most of the consoles and PC now, and it's only cheap. It's about 4 or 5 quid. But it's really good fun. It's a really good pick up and play game when you just want to play something different. You could play for hours, but then you could literally just play it for a game or two. The idea of it is to run around your one screen. I think there's 5 different screens and a bonus, and you collect all your donuts, and you basically collect a big donut at the end. The scoring in this game is you get a flashing donut, and the game wants you to collect the flashing donut and keep collecting them in order, keep collecting the flashing ones. That makes the game really hard because the flashing ones are all over the screen, and then the bonus items on the side come up, so obviously you can keep collecting them at the time for extra points. I say we're not going to do that because this game can be quite tricky. I'm not that great at it at the moment. But say, a good shout goes out to the music in this game. The music's really good, and I love the graphics in this game. The graphics are lovely, really nicely drawn, really lovely animated as well. You get different characters in this game, enemy characters, like you've got the bog over there, basically. The bog will just chase you around everywhere. You can also screen map, as you can see. So basically, you can't collect the big one at the top until you've collected all the normal sort of donuts. So now I can go in up there, but this DoDo can be a pain in the ass. That's the first level. I say it's definitely got Donkey Kong throwbacks. That's what it reminds me of. But it's super good. It's coming. They're actually doing an extra release of it, which is quite surprising. But I could imagine this doing surprisingly well on an arcade. The playability on this as well is really good. It does play really well. And you would need that playability. Because it can get, like I said, quite intense. So, I want a screen wrap here. I do find that when enemies walk off the screen, it can be a little bit tricky to jump over them and do the screen wrap. Reason being is because there's like a slight delay before they appear back on the screen again. So now I've got to wait, and then I've got to jump into the donut to collect it, and we'll get to the next level. See, this game's really good for quick bursts. Like on Switch, it would be fantastic because you could literally just pick your Switch up every now and then and have a go of it. Or chuck it in an arcade machine. Perfect. Which is pretty much how I've been playing it. See, it's nice and simple. It's just literally just one button, and I missed that completely. He's gonna fire now as well. Nope. There's various things you get, like you can jump on these things, you can go across, you can screen wrap over here, which is what you need to get all these donuts over here. Like I said, you see the flashing number there. You do get extra points for them, as you can see. And you got the strawberry there, which is quite hard to get because the auto runs. Well, the auto climbs over the vines, so if you jump on it, it will automatically go over, so you've got to time it right. Stage 3 done. Now it gets tricky. The candy store could be quite hard, but the stage after this is really hard. I really do like the music in this game. This level reminds me a little bit of Donkey Kong 2. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to go down here. Check that fiery bean or whatever it is at me. Oh, I thought I was up high enough end to get on it. Obviously not. Right, I gotta time this now. Just get over it. Oh, you run back the other way. Wicket. Okay. I say this game could be quite hard. Managing it all as well. The second playthrough is even harder. You get like Pac-Man ghosts flying across the screen. You've got to be careful of them. Now this level. Oh, this level's really hard. I haven't found a good route again for this level yet. So basically you go in the doors and you appear. You've got to watch the toilet. You appear up here, go up here, over there, through that door, comes over there, go back through that door. Actually, no, you don't want to do that. Going back through that door is bad. That's the tricky one to get. Okay, so there's... I've got a screen wrap now, haven't I? So you've got to watch that because the fog is bloody coming down for me. That's it, we're good. We can screen wrap that one. And now I've got to get down. Well, actually, I've got to get up here. Sorry. Screen wrap here. And now I've got to get to... I got it. I'm getting better at that stage. It took me a while to figure that stage out. So once you've done the 5 stages, you've got a bonus stage where you've got to bounce your little chef guy. You've got to collect him in order in this as well, which is... Oh, no, you don't. You can basically bounce him at different angles. It can be quite hard. This game plays so well. It makes it very... nearly. So now basically you get another run through the 5 levels, but it gets harder. The enemies are faster, and you get the little Pac-Man ghosts. So now you've got to be careful. The toilet goes way faster this time. He's on you straight away, basically, the bog. I've only managed to complete the 5 levels once at the moment. Have that. Come on, DoDo. Ah, damn it. I was thinking the toilet to come up in and kill me. Over the way. Screen wrap that. I'm gonna have to go back and screen wrap. Oh, I just made it. As you can see, this is like a classic old arcade machine. I say it is getting an extra release as well, so it will actually be in the arcades. I'm not sure if it's out on Extra yet, but it's coming out. It's not going to be an expensive game on Extra, but I can see a lot of the Japanese, especially, and arcade was loving this because it is an arcade game. Apparently, from what I've read as well, the Extra version's got a new stage. So it looks the same and everything, right? You got to watch those little Pac-Man ghosts. Ooh. Should watch the mice as well. Oh no, I fell on it. Ah, that's the end of my go. But anyway, guys, so that's DoDo. So it's a cheap game, well worth picking up, really good fun, and I've really enjoyed playing it. I instantly liked the graphics with the updates as well. Originally, I don't think it had the surround on the screen, but they've added all that, and they've added quite a few little things with the updates as well. So yeah, well worth picking up. This is one of the better games I've played this year. Really good fun. So that's DoDo. So let's move on to the next game. Well guys, this is the next game. So it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land on the Nintendo Switch. I've only ever played the first Kirby game, and I gotta be honest, I enjoyed that, so maybe I should play some more Kirby games. But I like the look of this one, and got this and played through it, and it's really good fun. It's not a hard game, to be honest. It's not particularly difficult, but it's a really fun game to play. And I'm checking in my best games I played this year. So we'll just continue with the game. I just go back to the town so I can start from the beginning. I say this is the hub world that once you start unlocking stuff in the game, this sort of fills up. And I've played through the game, so I've unlocked a lot of stuff. So Kirby does this thing. We'll go back. Let's have a look where we're going now. Right, okay, so it has put me back. Let me go back to the beginning of the... I was hoping that it'd put me back right at the beginning of the game. These are all the levels as you unlock as you go along. What you do is when you first get to a section of the map, there's a few things unlocked, so you've got to work your way through them and have a secrets lock, and there's extra mini games and stuff that give you items, and there's a lot to go back to this game to get all the items on each level, which I haven't done, which is what I need to do. So I'm just going to go back to the beginning, so I don't want to give too much away, so we'll go on the start level. So if I clear this stage with everything, see there's the things you can get on the stage. I say this has got quite charming little nice graphics on it. There's Kirby doing this thing. You can suck in the enemies like that, and then you can use the enemy. You can use the enemy as a weapon, so you can check it out. You can pick up weapons, and you can change which Kirby can use, different items and stuff, and make you do that. You can also, you can like this guy now will give me a weapon. So you can power up these weapons as well. You can buy extra stuff in the shops in your little hub world to make your weapons better. There's quite a lot of different things you can pick up in this. There's also, you can change yourself into a car. You can pick it. You can change yourself into a vending machine. You basically suck in and you stretch all over it, and then you can actually control it. Oops. See, there's a secret there. I'm not quite sure how to open that. But like I say, I did quite like. Oh, that's the opening. I did quite like the look of this when I first seen it, and it is really good. The levels do have a lot of little things you can unlock and little secrets and stuff to them, so the levels definitely worth coming back, which I need to do that. I need to come back and unlock a load of stuff on these games. There's the first thing, you get a vending machine, so if I basically hit that, I get sucked into a vending machine. You can walk around and you can crush blocks. Like do a soda jump, and you can chuck soda cans out of there, which is quite cool. All the different things you can pick up are quite good fun. Whoops, Sometimes you need it to get through walls, like you need that to break through that wall there, where you get extra secrets and extra coins. I say good shout out to the graphics in this. It looks very nice. So you can basically jump out of that now. So I can remember how to get it with myself. I'm out. Let's go. Hey, there's an unlock item. That was one of the first secrets. Whee. It's a really good fun game. I should play. I should play more of the Kirby games, I think, because I've enjoyed them, especially the NES one. I've really enjoyed the NES one. Like I said, that's another game that the NES one wasn't particularly that hard, but it was fun, and I really enjoyed playing through it. So you see, if you've got a Switch and you haven't played this, and you just fancy a 3D platform game, it's worth picking up. It's probably not as good as your Mario games, but it's fun. I've enjoyed it. I definitely am gonna have to go back to it. There he is, look. I say it was quite fun working out some of the levels as well, and working your way through them and getting the extra items. Here's another item you can pick up. So basically, you can jump and do a strike on enemies. You can break these blocks as well. Let's see if I can get him. It's quite interesting, Kirby, the way you can do that as a secret there. You can do all the different weapons and stuff. I say the original one was. I say it's not the original one. The NES one is it's basically like a remake of the Game Boy version. Hey, I should play the Game Boy original. I don't think the Game Boy original, mind you. I don't think you get any. I don't think you can pick up extra weapons. I don't think it's like the other ones. I think they HAL expanded this as they went along. So I'm gonna see if I can kill her. Oh no, can't kill that. Let's see if I can get out of it. Hey, there's a blue coin, green coin. So the levels are really good fun. I really like the graphics on it. Oh, I needed to break that, didn't I? No. Suck that back in. HAL are definitely very good at making games. Just as good as Nintendo, I would say. That's probably why they're a Nintendo first party. And have been since the start, essentially. You say the card is quite good fun. There's loads of challenges you can do. Like the card, you've got to get through courses at a certain amount of time. I had to collect items and everything. And I say there's a lot of, like, I'll jump to the end in here. So let's pick a weapon up, show you another one. This one you can it's like a Bomberman one. So you can chuck bombs everywhere, but you can they home in on enemies as well, and you can chain the bombs together like that. And blow them up. Like I said, it isn't the particularly hardest game in the world, but it's fun. It's fun once you start powering up all the your weapons and stuff. Here we go, get in behind him, get that bomb and kill him. Oh, I didn't know you could actually do that. Let's get out of that one then, let's pick up a sword. Hey. And that is level 1. So a nice enjoyable game, a nice sort of easy ride, enjoyable game. Oh, it's not the end of level 1. Wait. And I say I don't know whether you can change the difficulty level on it, but if you say you wanted more of a challenge, and you can, I would do that. But it's definitely got it amazes me sometimes how the Switch is such a limited bit of hardware in lots of ways, but you know, how Nintendo and HAL and a few other companies, how they get some really good looking games out of them. It's sort of like some modern gaming companies could learn a bit like from them. Perhaps it may be just having that hardware. Hang on, so I get out of there. Pick that up. You can smash these things in. Here's an extra red coin. Yeah, it's amazing the graphics they've got out of it. This game looks lovely. And it's got some really nice water effects and stuff as well on later on. So can I go back to the map? Yeah, I can exit the stage. I'll show you one of the bonus stages now as well. I say they're all over the place. You've got to find them. You basically just fly around the map and they pop back up on the map. These things, the treasure. And there's loads of them to do. And they're all get increasingly harder and harder. And they all use like a different skill. So there's a lot to come back to get the best scores on these as well. Can't remember what I do here. That's it. That's it, back to there. So there's a lot of time things you can do on here. So you can basically, I don't know whether they got world best times or something on them. You got the idea. There's loads of bonus things, different types. So yeah, Kirby's and Forgotten Land is really good. Well worth picking up on the Switch, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, don't expect like a high challenge because it's not. This is reasonably easy, but there's a lot to come back to and there's a lot to love from it. So yep, that's definitely well worth playing. So let's go on to the next game. Hello, right. Next game. Next game is a shoot 'em up. This is a Andro Dunos 2. This is the official sequel to the original Neo Geo game, Andro Dunos, which was not a bad Neo Geo game. It was an early game in the Neo Geo's life, and a lot of people dismissed it by thinking it was like it looked like a 16-bit game, which it did really. But the more you get into it, the bigger the bosses are, and the more it doesn't look like a 16-bit game. But a lot of people didn't get far on it because it never had autofire, which made it quite awkward. But Visco officially licensed it to the same people who made Infamous Gaiden. Top class, to be honest. Infamous Gaiden, a very, very good game. This is done in the same style as that, the nice big chunky graphics and stuff, and really good music. So, let's start this up. It's definitely a worthy sequel to the original. And it is a lot better than the original as well, to be honest. So, there's your ship. You have 4 weapon systems, front firing, fires both ways. You have like a green laser which does split into 3 once you get it powered up. And you have a spread shot with shooting lasers as well. You can power up each weapon, but each weapon needs to be powered up separately. So you don't collect a power up and then collect them all. These little items here are basically bonuses. On the stage, there's a certain amount of bonuses on each stage. The more bonuses you collect, the more power up upgrades you can have at the end of each level to power up your weapons. So, you know, not only do you get a bonus for getting them, you also get more. You basically can charge your weapons up with it. So the more of them that you get, the better. So there is quite a few. I'll try and collect them all if I can. You get the smaller ones and you get the bigger ones like this. So we'll collect them off here. As I say, as you can see, the graphics has got a really nice looking, big chunky pixel sort of look to them, and I think the graphics look really nice. Infamous Gaiden is the same, very similar graphic style. And this game has pretty exceptional music. The music is really well done. It's very nice indeed. So you've got the 4 different weapons. A lot of the bosses require you to use the 4 different weapons as well. So you will end up swapping. You do need to power up all of them. So tactics you can use on bosses. You also, each weapon as well, I'm going to grab that. Each weapon has an overcharge, which I'm going to use here. It gives you like an overcharged version of it, and then the bar fills up underneath my ship. You see the little blue bar? That fills up and then allows me to use that overcharge again. The overcharge can also be used as bullet cancelling. So if there's a lot of bullets on screen, you can't get through it, you can use your overcharge to cancel through the bullets. Which I'll do by here, so I'll show you what I mean. So you can basically cancel the bullets out. Which is very handy, so it's always good to have a charge and don't just randomly use it when you need it. So there's a couple more of these. Have I managed to get them all? Yep, that's it. That's the whole lot. As you're going to see in a minute, this game does have nice backgrounds and it does have massive full screen bosses. Very nice indeed. The original had some massive bosses as well, mind. I did start playing the original on the Neo Geo for a while, and I used to have it back in the day when it first came out, and I didn't have it for very long. But yeah, going back to it now, it is actually better than I thought because you can use autofire. I think it needed autofire, to be honest. Without autofire, it's really hard. Like I say, you cancel these things as well with this bullet cancelling. The only thing I think you can't cancel is lasers. Sometimes bosses, you can shoot different parts of them. Like you can shoot that door over there, but don't really need to do that. You just need to shoot his head. That's the easiest way to kill this thing. You can shoot that gun turret as well at the top. The pods on the front will move around depending on what weapon type you've got, but they're not like R-type. They don't take unlimited amount of bullets. After a certain amount of bullets, they will break and disappear. So you can power that up as well, as you'll see in a minute. So now I should get 3 power-up icons to use. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, go 3. So basically, you can power them up separately. You can power your missiles up, or you can power your pods up as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power up this weapon to full because it's useful for the second boss. So let's see if we can get to the second boss. I say definitely shout out goes to the music on this game. Music is really, really well done. Overall, it's a very well put together package, and it is better than the original game. It's mad that it's actually the original did get a sequel because it's not like it probably wouldn't be in the game. I would have if someone said right, let's do a sequel to a Neo Geo game. I probably wouldn't have picked this, but I'm glad they made it because it's very good. I probably would have picked something like Pulstar or something like that if I was going to make a sequel to something, or Last Resort or something. But yeah, got no complaints with this. It's wicked. I like the shadows as well. Like you can see the shadow on my ship behind, and like the enemies have got shadows on this level as well, which gives that which basically makes them look like which makes them look like they're flying off the background. They're not actually on the background, which is a very nice touch. I say I'm using the first weapon a lot at the moment, but you do need to change. Use my overcharge I need. Good thing of the overcharge is you get each weapon has got a different overcharge as well. So if I use it on this one, it does that. And I don't think all of them bullet cancel either. No, that one doesn't bullet cancel. But it does shoot through scenery. So there's a lot of tactics you can use in, like, you will swap for the weapons a lot. Which is good, which you can see they put a lot of thought into it. I say the company who did this are very good. They're Japanese and they are talented. They haven't done many games, but what they have done is pretty excellent. So they've got a pretty top class record, I'd say, at the moment. Switch back to this weapon. This weapon is really handy for this boss. These lasers will shoot the top of the boss. But you can use the first weapon, use the charge to kill the pods, if you don't go too close to the pods, that is, of course. Like I just did. But yeah, the big full screen bosses are nice. I like the background, as I did, but I like the background the way it's sort of like it's not zooming, is it? It's like sort of like a Mode 7 type background on it. I haven't managed to 1cc it yet. I've got quite far into it. I think I've got to the last level, but it gets the last level too. It's got some really big bosses that are quite hard. Same with Infernax. I've come close to 1cc in that as well, but never actually done it. I say shout out to that game, by the way. If you've got Steam, check out Infernax. I think it's on offer at the moment, and the game's amazing. I say this did come out on consoles as well, so you can easily get it on a console, or you can just buy the PC version. Whichever you go, whichever you want to play, whatever your poison is, as they say. So yeah, so I collected quite a few bonuses then, so I should have enough for 2 power-ups, I reckon. Yeah, enough for 2 power-ups. So, like, it's not, you don't just get points bonuses, you get extra power-ups, so then you can just power up with different weapons. On this one, you would need to do the back shot, because the boss on this one, you need to shoot him from behind. So, yeah. Andro Dunos 2, very good game, well worth having, well worth the sequel to the original, and much better than the original one. And well worth picking up. So, let's move on to the next game.
Right, guys. This is the next game. This is Sonic Frontiers. I haven't finished it, admittedly, and I've just got to the end of the first island, and there's 5 islands. So, I haven't played it a huge amount, but from what I've played of it, I'm really enjoying it. And it's a really different Sonic game. So I'm going to put it in here, because I've got a funny feeling I'm going to really like this game by the end of it. Going by the reviews, they got very mediocre reviews. Some reviewers even give it like 2, 3 out of 10. I think they're wrong. If you have a look online, it seems to be all the majority of, well, it's not everyone, but the majority of the press hated it. But if you look at user reviews, the majority of the users loved it. So I decided to pick it up. It has dropped in price. I managed to get it for 30 quid. So, and it's a PS5 version. So I thought I'd give it a punt at 30 quid, because I did sort of like the look of it, and it looks very different. And I gotta be honest, I'm really having fun with it. And the other thing that makes me think I'm going to really enjoy it, I open world games, I do get bored of them quickly. I lose interest in open world games. There's not many open world games that have kept my interest for very long. And this is an open world game, and I'm really enjoying running around doing stuff. So the last one that kept my attention was Ghost of Tsushima. And I loved that as well. But yeah, I'm actually finding this game really good fun. So I'm going to continue from an earlier save, because I don't think that I did have 6 odd hours. I've done 6 odd hours on you so far on the auto save. So I'll try this save, but I may have to go back to the other one. It's because I've literally got to the boss. Alright, we're good. So basically this is Sonic. He's basically on this almost like real looking island, and he's this little cartoon character. And as you can see, all these stuff you can see in the sky, all rails you can jump on, and you've got to run around the island doing missions. If you look at the map, all these points on the island, the things to do, there's Chaos Emeralds. You've got basically, I think the idea is you run around the island, you do all the missions, you go into the classic Sonic levels and collect all the keys, and you unlock the Chaos Emeralds. You get the Chaos Emeralds, and then you fight a boss. So I've spent a good 6 hours running around here having fun, and I've been enjoying it. And there's various things to do. Sometimes you've got to collect little creatures and give them to the bigger creatures on the island, and they'll give you things. There's lots of little things to go up. Like sometimes you've got to collect things. You've got to kill certain enemies. You've got to run in circles, because what you can do is you can do this and surround things in circles. and sometimes you've got to kill enemies like that, and sometimes you've got to ride the rails and go up high. This game, you can go ridiculously high. It's crazy how high you can go. Another thing about this as well is it's a Sonic game where you can run like a loon, and this is not full speed either. You can run around like an idiot in this game. Like, I'll show an idea of a fighting area. You can lock onto enemies. Oh, I couldn't zoom out the way in time. What I will say about it, the combat in this game, it's actually really good. It's really fast-paced, the combat, and it works really well. See, these things as well, like if you hook onto that, they'll bounce you up in the air. And you'll shoot into different places of the island. You can do massive sort of jumps and leaps. There's that flying enemy you can get on and goes into missions. You can actually, if I go over here, I say there is two modes as well. There's a performance mode and the graphics mode. The graphics mode looks a bit nicer, but it's 30 frames a second, and you don't really want that on a Sonic game, do you? Like if I go down here. I say it's super fast. You can grind really fast on these things as well. There is a quicker way up here actually as well, but we're going to go this way since we're at it. As you can see, you can get high in this game. If I go that way. It's really easy to basically grab onto stuff. And the entire island, it's just like a giant playground. So this is one of the things up here. There's a day and night cycle as well. There's certain things you've got to do within the night, and there's certain things you've got to do within the day. So, as you can see, you can get up stupidly high on this. I'm going to try and run it now and jump off. He's pretty much immune. You can just jump from any height. So basically, you can put little pointers on the map as well. And to do various things. Oh, I haven't seen that bridge before. Is there anything on DK? Ah, it is. There's little things to collect. Ah, that's cool. I noticed that before. So if I run over here, and as you play through this as well, and you do your little challenges and various stuff you got to do, you unlock a lot of these rails. And it's basically you can get around the island really fast. Right, what I want to do is go down here. And spoon throughout the island to get keys to get the Chaos Emeralds. The other thing I'll show you as well. Graphics on this game, really nice. When you see the light in from the sun on here and you see it reflecting off the rocks and that, it is a pretty game. But if can I get in these now? No. Hang on a minute. Let me find a Sonic level I can get in and retry. Ah, that one. So if I mark that on the map. There's standard Sonic levels on here as well, but basically you have to do them to unlock keys and everything. And there's like 5 challenges in each of the levels. Or it could be 4, I can't remember. It's basically you've got to oh, there's one thing. To get this challenge, you've got to go like this in a circle. This game does have a bit of a story as well, and it does have other Sonic characters, and the entire game is voiced as well, which is quite nice. I'm not going to attack, I think. I'm going to get out yet. So, what do? You come across these pillars, once you get in these there's 4 things actually. You basically got to reach the goal nice and easy. You've got to collect all the red ring things. You've got to get 50 rings, so the gold rings that Sonic does, and you've got to get their S rank. These are like the classic Sonic levels, but done in 3D. So it's like some are like from Sonic Adventure. They're not from that game, but they got that style, and some from like Sonic Generations. So you go into your more traditional Sonic. While it's loading as well, you get to do test things, but it's loaded already, so we cancel that. Getting S rank on this one is tricky. Some of the levels are in 3D as well, so you're like running forward. I would say as well, the shout out to the music in this game. The music's really good. Even in the open world, it's all like piano tunes and stuff. It does have a really good soundtrack. And I haven't even got to the other islands yet. Like, I do like Sonic games, they're good. The last really good Sonic game I really enjoyed was Sonic Mania. The 3D ones, apart from Sonic Colors remake, so I did buy, but I still need to play it. I should have grabbed on then. And that's basically the end of the level, but you've got to do it in, I think it was 1 minute 15 or something to get to the end of it. So there's loads of these spattered around on the levels. You need to complete them all, yeah, 1 minute 15. I think I've got 1 minute 17 was the fastest I did it. So I'm gonna leave. So that's the cyberspace levels, they're like classic Sonic levels. If you want to do these. There's lots of little tricks you can do. You can block as well, so you can block enemies, which is quite cool. So I haven't used much, and you can sidestep. So we'll go back to the main game. You can skip these bits, which is quite nice. So guys, that is Sonic Frontiers. It's a very unusual game for a Sonic game, being in a more realistic looking world, but with Sonic characters. Like I said, admittedly, I haven't played through it all yet because I need to support it. And it's one of the games I wanted to play over Christmas. But for the 6 odd hours I've played it so far, and the fully open worlds, it's been really good fun. So I'm looking forward to the other 4 islands as soon as I do the boss. So I'm going to chuck it in anyway, because like I said, I think it's got a feeling it's going to be a really good game. So if you fancy it, it is on offer at the moment. Like I said, I paid 30 for it, I believe, 29 quid on Amazon for the PS5 version. So I don't know what it runs like on the other versions, but you know, it's pretty much on most things. So anyway guys, let's go on to the next game. Hello guys, here's the next game. This is a PS5 game. It's also out on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, that type of thing, but due to a few little issues with stuttering frame rates and stuff like that, especially on the PC version, the PS5 version is pretty much the best way to play it, because you'll get a pretty solid 60 frames a second. You do occasionally get a few hitches here and there, but generally nothing that's going to spoil your fun. But anyway, this is the new game by the same guy who made the Dead Space games. It's not to do with Dead Space, but it is in space and there's a lot of dead things. And you pretty much, an outbreak has happened and you basically sat on a planet and you end up in a prison where the outbreak has gone crazy and you've basically got to fight your way out of it and escape. So I'm going to start a new game. I'm not going to show you too much of this because I really enjoyed this game, and I want you to experience for yourself. But I'll just show you the beginning sections of the game, so it's not really giving much away. So we'll start it. First thing, I would say definitely, if you've got PS5, play in performance mode. The hits you take in the standard mode, it's not worth it, basically. I say this game is incredibly good looking. There was a bit of controversy about this game. I was going to get it, then it received really bad reviews, and then I was like, so I decided not to. But then I seen it for a good price, and I thought take a punt at it. And to be honest, I'm glad I did, because it's really good, and I really enjoyed it. And I will definitely play through it again, especially next year when they do the +1 game, which apparently they're going to be adding, and they're going to be adding some DLC and stuff. So we'll see if the DLC is worth it or not. But yeah, pretty much this is just a start video of an outbreak kicking off, and then gets into the action. The graphics in this game are very nice indeed. It's a very pretty game. A lot of controversy around this game is to do with the combat. People were saying as soon as you get a couple of enemies on screen, the combat's useless and you just die all the time. Well, that's not really true, because you can take multiple enemies on. It's just a point of how you got to get used to the combat. The way you kill things on this, you've got to point yourself at an enemy. Once you point yourself at that enemy, if they charge you, you can hold left or right, doesn't matter which one you hold that direction, and they attack you. As soon as they attack you, you've got to push the opposite direction to dodge the second attack, and so basically. Most enemies don't attack you any more than 4 times. That's usually the max, and it's really easy to do. And once you get an eye for when the enemies stop in their attacks, you can just follow through with your attacks. When you get multiple enemies on screen, they will come from the side of you and attack you, but they don't really take any energy off you. They more sort of like knock you out of your attacks on the one you're concentrating on. So what you have to do is you have to quickly turn the camera to look at the enemy that's knocked you out and is attacking you, because they'll attack you fast. As soon as you're looking at them, you can go back into the dodging again, attack them, and then go to the next one, attack them. But once you get fast and good at it, fighting things in combat, it's okay. Generally, I would say probably 60-70% of the time that I died in combat, it was my own fault, because I either didn't dodge properly or I made a bad decision on when they stopped attacking me. Right, there was a few times I did die, and that's just part of the course of these games. But they're wrong about that combat. They just, I think what happened is, I think there's not all reviewers. I think there's a few reviewers out there that try to get this review out as fast as possible, put it on easy, rush through the game, and never learned the combat properly, and they ended up getting frustrated and dying all the time. But I had no problems. Like, say, if you don't believe the combat's any good, check out my my videos, because I did a complete playthrough of this over 3 nights, and you can see I'm taking multiple enemies on. I did die, yes, but I generally didn't really have that much of a problem. I even managed to do the last boss in half an energy bar. So, as you can see, it's a third-person game. You run around doing your thing. You're on a spaceship at the moment. Graphics are beautiful in this game. There's loads of detail to everything. And you can see where they've crafted a pretty amazing-looking world. Yeah, and they spend a lot of time with detail to make it look good. I would also say that if you like the Dead Space games, it's a little bit different than Dead Space, but pretty much, you're in space and there's a lot of dead things. So, what can I say? But with Dead Space, it's got a lot of puzzles, and the majority is about shooting things. This is the opposite. It doesn't really have a lot of puzzles. It's mainly just getting from one spot to another and finding a few secrets and stuff, and then melee and attacking enemies. You do get guns, but generally the melee attack is where you want. To be honest, I had loads of fun with the melee attack. I prefer that to using the weapons. But the weapons complement it.
Son of a bitch.
Lengthwise, I would say this game it didn't outstay its welcome. It it took me, I would say, roughly about 10, 11 hours maybe on my stream. The game says it took me just under 10 hours, but I think it was a little bit longer than that. And to be honest, for a single player game for what this is, that's probably about right. That's probably not a bad length. There is replayability to it, not a huge amount, but there's secret areas everywhere in the game. It tends to be you get extra weapons and you find pickups and stuff, and you got to go looking for them. I didn't find them all.
We've been boarded. Oh shit! The other way? Yeah, I'm guessing. All right.
Another thing,
all right, well, you get your ass
he is
back
a sweaty guy. He's always very sweaty.
You know, they could be anywhere.
The other thing, it was quite funny actually, you are totally immune to fire. You can literally sit over the burning corpse and duck down like that and stay there for ages, and it won't hurt you. I suppose they probably had to do that because otherwise if you're getting hit in combat by fire, it would probably be very frustrating, so I can sort of forgive them for it, but you know, it is a thing.
Search the hold. It's gotta be here somewhere.
But yeah, it's a good game. I like it. I bet this looks fantastic on an OLED.
Dampening field still in effect.
Like I say, I'm not going to show you a huge amount of it because I don't want to give any of it away really. I wanted to experience it.
How should I know? Anything? Nothing yet. Almost out of time. There he is!
Papa!
Max! I'm heading for the bridge!
Open up!
What are you gonna do? Whatever I have to. What are you doing? No! Shit! Hold on! I'm on my way!
So it's quite cinematic at times. I think John Lindemann loved this as well, and he said that he was really surprised at the bad reviews when the bad reviews came out.
Get up here!
I don't think it deserves as bad reviews at all. I just think they couldn't play it properly.
Hurry!
And if you like horror games, if you like space horror games especially, and you were into Dead Space and things like that, I think you're going to enjoy this game. It's well worth picking up, and I really enjoyed it. And I will play through with it again. Oh, I'm getting that chain.
Transfer flight control to my station! Transfer flight control! This is bad, Jacob! Mayday, mayday, mayday!
It looks incredibly bad.
JC Caron! Returning to Callisto! Requesting emergency clearance!
Negative, UJC Caron. You are not authorized for re-entry.
Sorry, but I got no choice! Coming in hot! Who's the antigraphs?
I'd say it'd be interesting how if they do turn this into they could turn it into a series, maybe, I don't know.
Brace for impact!
So anyway guys, Callistro Protocol, definitely well worth picking up and well worth playing. If you're able to, play it on the PS5, but if not, you know, just pick it up on whatever platform you've got. But yeah, don't listen to half the bad reviews. It is a good game. I really liked it and really enjoyed it. So anyway guys, I don't really want to show you much more from here, so we'll move on to the next game. Actually, I'll carry on a minute. We'll move on to the next game. Right then guys, back with another game. This is Pocky and Rocky. This is Reshrined, which is pretty much a sort of remake of the SNES game. It's not an exact remake, so I think it's got a lot of new stuff in it, but made by Natsumi. Pretty much Natsumi at their best is what they do. Natsumi make damn good games. I'll start off by saying that I'm not a big fan of the Rocky and Pocky games, or Pocky and Rocky games. I don't know. or Kikai. I don't mind them, but I'm not great. But this game is really good. There's a story mode. Pity I can't get my save off the cloud because I haven't got PlayStation at the moment. So unfortunately, I can't get my save because I've unlocked some of the extra characters. But basically, you could play through with the 2 characters, and then you can unlock things as you go once you've completed story mode, and then you get a free mode then, which is like an arcade mode. So we'll start it off. I'll start from the beginning. I've really enjoyed this. It's beautiful pixel graphics as well. I love the art style and everything on this as well. It's really good. Big, massive bosses as well. There was a little concessions they made with the Western version. They covered up one of the characters' boobs, basically. Well, they weren't out anyway. They just used a low-cut top, but they covered it up. Why? I have no idea. And he doesn't in the Japanese version. The Pocky is a tanuki, and he doesn't have a huge set of balls, which is a shame. So perhaps he's a female tanuki. I don't know. Maybe it's not a he, it's a she. But you say, as you can see, it's I think it starts off pretty close to the SNES original, but then changes. So basically, you can pick up different weapons. You can fire in any direction by moving around, and then you've got a little prayer wand, which you can use to block enemies and things like that, which you will need to use quite a bit. There's also find the button that does it. There's a special move, and there's this slide to get out the way of stuff as well. So basically, you make your way through the levels, fighting bosses, and you swap between the 2 characters as well. The different weapons. This is the wide shot, which is really useful. Then you've got the fire shot, which is very powerful, and there's the green weapon as well. You can pick up money as well, which you can use. You can buy weapons and stuff off little sort of guys on the side of the road. Once you get to full power and you pick another power up, you get this overpowered shot, which gives you like a maximum powered shot for a little while, which is really good and really handy. As you can see, the attention to the detail and the graphics on this is lovely. And it plays really good as well. You can zoom through the levels quite fast as well if you know what you're doing. You can also pick up this little food dragon, which is a little invincibility pickup, so you can use it to jump into things. There's the little yokai demons. You can basically any bullets to fly at you. You can use a little prayer wand. Basically, knock the bullets away and survive. There was a physical version of this as well. I think it's only by like limited games or something. Otherwise, you can just get it on the store. That's an energy. Get 1 of your energies back if you've died. But we haven't, so we're good. And the best way to kill this guy is to basically stand in the corner, I guess. Am I going to kill it? Whee! Say, there's a lot of really nice enemies on there, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Gonna run away from these. You can knock enemies back as well with your little prayer wand. The prayer wand is, you need to use it basically. When you're using Rocky, I think Rocky is the Tanuki. When you're using Rocky, you can use his tail to knock things back. I much prefer the Rocky. There's a secret to it as well. There's on the right hand side, there's that little level. If you go in there, there's actually a little secret. So there's little secrets in the game all over, little extra lives and stuff. What you can do in this bit, you can just zoom through it, I guess. There's one of the little secret characters who you can basically buy weapons off if you've got enough coins. Which I haven't got. So such nice attention to detail, just pretty much like all of Natsumi's games, like Ninja Warriors again, and what's the cowboy one called? Wild Guns, which I don't know why I've never finished Wild Guns. I should finish it because the remake of that is wonderful as well. You can hit those bullets back at him. Cool as you're moving all the little leaves around and stuff. Not over yet. You got the giant angry version of him. Some of the bosses on this are beautiful, big, huge things that look stunning. The one on the water especially looks really nice. The extra characters as well. The extra characters are wicked. I like the girl who's got the laser weapon. Well, it's not laser, it's an electric weapon. She's really good. It's like a lock-on electric beam. So I'll show you a little bit of the second level, and I'll pick up a different weapon for you to have a look at. So if you like Kiki Kikai or you like the Rocky, or you just like a look at this game, definitely pick it up. It's well worth it. It's very good. So you got to work your way through the map. You can continue as well if you needs be. Just got to pick Rocky now. So he's got different weapons again. Lovely music as well on this. Shout out definitely goes to the music. Have I got enough money? No. Nope. They drop weapons and occasionally will give you an extra life, depending. It took me a little while at first to figure out what sort of things you can actually this is white shine. Well, you can you can actually bounce back. It's like these things. It took me ages to figure out. You can just hit them with your tail. Which you can do pretty much most of the enemies. So I was trying to get past those enemies without dying. You're not completely unrunnable when you're using your tail, like, but it will knock a lot of enemies back out of the way. See, up here is a secret. Look up here. And that is pretty much a special weapon. So if I use this special. So, anyway guys, that's Pocky and Rocky. I say if you like the look at it, definitely pick it up. It's very good. I really enjoy it, to be honest. I played it quite a bit, and it's pretty nice on an arcade stick as well. It works really well. Works good on the pad. In some ways, it probably works a little bit better on a pad with the analog sticks, and then you can use the buttons for jumping around. But it's a great game, nevertheless, as you can see. So we'll leave that one there, and we'll go on to the next game. I highly recommended this. Right guys, here's the next game. This is WRC Generations. It's an official WRC game. I do like rally games. I do like a casual racing game every now and then. This is made by, I think they pronounce it Callistro. It's a French developer, and this is the last WRC game that they're doing, because I think they've lost the license for it. When they first came out, these games, I didn't think that much of them. I think they were a little bit cheaper now, but I think 8 got a lot better. 9 was really good, and 10 was really good as well. And I did have them in Game of the Year the last 2 years as well, as you know, in my Game of the Year list. But this new version, I think because they've lost the license, they've gone all out and added loads of new content, and they've upped the graphics and stuff on here as well. You can get this on PC as well. I think it's even out on the Switch. The PC version does look a little bit nicer if you've got a good enough PC to run it, but I found the PlayStation one is smoother the majority of the time. So make it as you will. So basically, this is a sim racing game, but when you're playing it doesn't seem like a sim racing game. It seems somewhere in between arcade and simmy, if you know what I mean. You basically got multiplayer. What makes this different to a lot of other rally games? You've got a career mode. In the career mode, you have to manage your team, and you have to manage the races, and you have to pick your calendar and what you need to do, and you have to rest your team. You can buy upgrades and stuff. And to be honest, it's actually really good fun. I actually quite like the career mode, and I think it goes quite well with the game. Managing a team can be tricky, but you basically pick a team, you manage a team, and then you have other teams trying to pinch you, and you can do tryouts, and you can do classic rally races and things like that. So if you're into rally games, this is definitely a thumbs up. But I'll just show you quick play. It's probably the best way of doing it. So they've gone all out and added more courses than they've ever done before. So pretty much these are all the places you can go in this now, and they all feel really different to play as well. And they've got everything from, snow, sun, the British Isles, Japan, raining, everything you think of. And I really like the dirt games and the Colin McRae rally games, but I think this is probably my favourite rally game. I think they definitely peaked, especially with number 9 and 10. So, where should we go? Let's go to Wales, why not? Seems to be in Wales. Tiafon. Right, okay. That's a crazy course, that is. Let's do the Dawn one. And we'll have Clear. You get to pick various, you can do the Legends cars if you want. Like if I go into Legends cars, you can have the old classic. It's the Lancia Stratos. You can have the old classic cars and stuff. They've added loads of content to this. You can do the WRC 3, WRC 2, so they're obviously a little bit smaller, slower cars, and then you can do the full-on WRC. So I am going to pick the Toyota, and you get the proper teams and everything come up. I'm not really bothered about the proper teams, but that's what it is. I will say on the PS5, with the PS5 pad, you can feel everything. You can feel the braking in the triggers, you can feel the wheels sliding and trying to grip. The force feedback's really good. I tried it on the PC one as well, and the force feedback is pretty decent on the PC. It's not as good as the PS5 one. There's 2 modes you can run this in. You can run it in the performance mode, which is what I'm using now. It's got slight downgrades in the graphics and shadows, but running to smooth 60, or you can play in 30 FPS with much better looking. But you want 60 FPS to be honest. You can do a lot of things with your car as well before you start. You can, when you're in races, when you're doing rallies, you've got to fix your car up. You got to basically change your tyres out and stuff. It's a good thing to pick your own tyres. But you need to pick, to get what the weather's like, you need to get a meteorologist. You need a higher one, and then he will give you a rough idea what the weather's going to be like the entire race. So then you can pick your tyres. It does all that in the career mode, but it sounds like a ball ache, but it's actually quite fun.
5, 4.
So I always like
3,
the inside view.
2, 1, go. Right 3, don't cut, and left 5, long jump over crest 60.
I say they are quite tricky to stay on the road.
Caution, brake left 3 over crest, keep in, and right 4, don't cut, keep in. Hit the flat left.
I say if you're into rally games, I would definitely suggest picking one of these up.
Keep in.
Even pick up 9 or 10, which are on the PlayStation Store at the moment, are on offer for really cheap, and you'll have a really good fun with them as well.
To crest for flat right 40.
if I say I had one complaint about this, is when you're doing the full rallies, your last race in the full rally tends to be you race the entire course. So the stages tend to be like forward, back, sections and things like that for the first couple of stages. But once you actually do all the stages, you've got to run the entire course in one go, which could be really tricky. That could be quite long. But the multiplayer is quite fun in here as well, which is quite cool. It's got it. I just got caught in some water. I can see the graphics are nice. I say they look even nicer in the 30 FPS mode, but you don't want to play in the 30 FPS. Nope, dead. Get back on it. This is a famous course in Wales. This is basically up in Brecon. It's about an hour odd ride from here. I don't think they do it anymore because it's just really hard. It's a really hard course. Apparently some Wales are some of the best rally courses around. But up in top end of Brecon on mountains in the middle of nowhere.
Into right 5 Titan 3, medium, definitely don't cut, keep middle. Into left 3 over crest, opens 30.
So the pad, the way you can feel everything on the pad on the PS5 is really good.
Bump into right 5,
I say even when you brake in and then you skid in on the brake in, you can literally feel the wheels trying to grip. It's quite hard to play and talk at the same time.
And left 5 opens.
It's a nice short course.
Right 4, bumpy, don't cut, 40.
But even though this is a rally simulation game, it doesn't play like a simulation game. It plays quite arcadey in some ways.
Left 3, definitely don't cut, very long, opens bumpy.
Bumpy.
Into caution, brake for hairpin right 50.
It's also on the normal difficulty level. It is tricky to come first in the championship. Oops.
Get us off here quick, please.
Okay.
And right
Screwed that up.
Don't cut, 50.
But yeah, it's quite tricky to come first. You've got to do a whole season,
Long, tightens into crest.
and you'll get poached by other teams as well, which you can swap to.
Medium at junction 30.
Let's recover it. I say you've got to concentrate in this game.
Right 4 over crest 40. Caution,
And listen to the co-driver.
Flat right 40. Left 5 short into right 3 bumpy over crest.
I say the
opens
PC
long,
version
40.
you can get it looking a bit nicer, and you can run at 4K and stuff, but
5 opens long 60.
it still looks good on you. It does have a lot of pop-up, as you may have noticed, but then again, so does the PC one.
Left 4 off camber into bump. And right 4 short opens medium 100 bumpy.
It's just, I think it's a little bit of a shame that they've lost the license, because over the last couple of years they crafted a pretty amazing rally game.
Right 5 medium into finish.
We're in. I'll quickly show you another course. I say the one thing I would say for the PlayStation version over the PC version, anti-aliasing, you see the little pixel crawl on edges and stuff. It's in the 60 mode. I don't think you've got any anti-aliasing, or as I like to call it, anti-aliasing. So if I go back, actually if you want I'll show you some of the career mode. Let's say you've got other things you can do, quick play, careers. Each week they're doing extra stuff for you to do as well. You got the seasons of various things, you can do training matches and power yourself up. You've got to do that in the other modes as well. There's the old multiplayer stuff you can do. So if you're into rally games, it's pretty good. And it's got split screen, which is pretty amazing. I haven't tried that, mind. You've got a test area to drive around, which is quite good, and you've got the leaderboards each month and each week. So I tell you what, instead of going out, let me just show you. Let me show you a snowy level. The snowy levels always look good. Monte Carlo, let's go Sweden. Sweden. Let's do it. Let's do it noon. Let's do it. So snow. What car should we have? Actually, I'll pick a classic. Let's have a Stratos. This is probably going to be stupidly hard. I won't play all the rally because we'll be here for ages. So I want to try and make this best games of the year video reasonably small. I had to do it in 2 parts last time.
5, 4, 3.
These cars
2,
are monsters.
1, go. 50.
Put my hand off the brake without.
Tightens into right 3, 30.
Oh, I haven't tried this car.
Right 2.
This is rear-wheel drive, I think. Oh, was no 4-wheel drive, wasn't it? It could be it's a little bit tricky to control.
Left 3, medium, opens.
You have to be a bit light on the accelerator. So the snow levels are good.
Into left 4, long, tightens, into right 3. Into left 3, into right 4, long, tightens.
Get in it.
And left 4, short, into right 3, tightens.
Oh, that's a good time to stop. So, I would say if you're into rally games, this is definitely well worth picking up. You can get it. I can't remember how much I paid for it now. I think it was... How much did I pay for it? I think it's about 30 quid. Maybe 35... No. Is it 35? It might be £35 I bought it for. And you can get it on Amazon for a reasonable price as well. But say if you didn't want to buy the latest version, the other 2 versions are very good as well. Pick up 10. 10 is... I think 10's about... I'm not sure the price. I know it's on offer at the moment anyway. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that one. We'll go across to the next game. Right, and guys, this is one of the 2 beat-em-ups that came out this year, or belt-scrolling beat-em-ups, whatever you want to call them, or belt-scrollers, that came out this year. Both very good, and both very different from each other as well. So this is the first one. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. This is a great homage to the old classic cartoons and stuff, and if you love the Turtles or love the old cartoons, you'll probably really like this. It's well worth playing. So, we'll start him up. You've got an arcade mode, and you've got a story mode, and that's about it, basically. So, I'll do the story mode, and I'll start a new game. And then, keep my power levels. Yeah, I'll keep my power levels. So, you've got a +1 game there. Okay. Here we go. So, I'm going to skip all this and show you the main game. The PC version is 6-player, and you can play it online 6-player co-op, or you can play on the same console. The console version's a 4-player due to obviously limitations on the joypads you can put in it. You've got all the characters: Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, April O'Neil, and I think you've got to finish it to get Splinter and Casey Jones. Definitely Casey Jones you have. So we will go. Let's go Donatello.
Turtles, let's get our shells and gear.
We'll skip the start. I say this game has got 15 levels, I believe. So you basically, in the story mode, you play out through the levels bit by bit, and you get a map screen and everything. You can pick which levels you want to do, and you can go back to. As you can see in this, the graphics are really nice. They've really captured that look, and the music is fantastic as well. You've got a couple of different moves. You've got basically a dodge move, which you can do that. You've got a run move, and you can run and attack like that, or you can just run. You can run and jump. I'll do that now, which gives you slide move. You've got your basic fires that. You've got jump attack, which attacks down. And you've got a 2-button attack, which knocks the enemies up in the air. But if you knock them in the air and press punch, they come back down as well, like that. Oops, I got caught out of it. You can sort of use these moves to your advantage and move around and everything you need to. Like that, you can dodge through enemies. You've also got a charge attack, which I will do that on one of the enemies now. Oh, they haven't charged yet. That would be right. See, it's charged out. So basically, you charge attack like that. The way to get that back is killing enemies, but you can do a taunt move like this, and you'll get it back instant, which you will do a hell of a lot because you will need it on bosses. Especially when you play in multiplayer, because this game gets crazy in multiplayer. There's a mad amount of stuff going on. The most I've played is free player, but it was really good fun. Another thing I will say about it is a little bit of a negative in some ways. This game, like I said, it's got 15 levels. It's long. It's really long. To the point that my first playthrough on, you're playing in co-op as well. Fun as it was, it took about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Which is a fair amount of time for a beat'em. But having the map screen and everything, you can sort of basically come back to it if you wanted to. It's a nice little dodge, yeah? So you can do a couple of levels or whatever and come back to them. Plus there's unlockables you can get on the levels, so you can basically come back and find them as well, which is quite nice. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on screen at once as well, especially in multiplayer. I think one of them is I'd say that's one of the secrets. They give you, I think they give you items and stuff if you save them all. You can pick things up. I say they've definitely captured the graphics really nice in this game, and then like the funny little things like in the kitchen level now, and they're running around with spoons. And he's cooking a cake. I say they've definitely had a lot of fun making this game, and it is a lot of fun to play as well. So I'm going to use the super. I'm going to charge you back up as well. Bosses, you will end up using that a lot on bosses. This is where this dodge move comes in handy. You can dodge and attack as well, which is quite good. Yeah, that's a good hit. Someone as well. It's basically, I don't even know how I did that. How the hell did I do that? Ah, there's a double one. Double attack. Got that. Double jump. Cool. Someone has hacked a Mega Drive game, Streets of Rage, with the characters from this, and you can basically download it. It's quite good fun. I've played through it. It's basically the same as the other hack, but they've added a few new features to it, and they've changed the sprites to basically take the sprites off here, and it looks surprisingly good. So if you fancy it, go have a look around for it. Play it on your Mega Drive or whatever, or on them later, on your Mister. Bebop was the first boss. Oh, I died. Ah, that'll teach me. They say in single player it is a little bit of a challenge. You got to be a bit more careful in single player. In multiplayer, you can just spam the bloody super move a lot. One of you attack the boss while the other one charges. I'm gonna go right into the middle of them and use it. Very sneaky, isn't he? So we'll get that. You see, I completed a little challenger, and there's a little paper. That's one of the collectibles. I say each level there's different ones. Once you save the character, they tell you which collectibles they need, and you just got to go find them. Basically, gives you a little bit of replayability to the levels, which is quite nice. Bop. You get me in. I'm trying to do a special. I say the specials will do a good job of killing them. But in single player, it's going to be a bit tricky to charge it. As you can see. I say in multiplayer, you can basically, one of you take hold and the other one can charge, and then you can get a nice rhythm going and kill the bosses pretty good. Oh, I got an ass kick. That's it, got it. I'll teabag him, get it. Shredder's robotic, not Shredder, but the Krang's head in the background with it, off his robot. He's rock steady. So once you've actually beaten a level, get this overview map, and as you work your way through the map, sort of a bit of a homage to the original NES game, you start building up levels as you go through, and like I said, there's about 15 levels to this game, and it is a bit long really, I think, for a beat 'em up, but you can come back to it bit by bit, which is a compromise, I suppose. It's probably, you're not that often going to sit here for like 2.5 hours and beat it over and over, I don't think, unless you love it, of course. Maybe you are. Just the second level outside the TV studio. So you can mix up the combat and stuff. So anyway, this is the first one of the 2 beat 'em ups that are really good. They came out this year. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Really good game. It's on Game Pass at the moment, still on Game Pass, so you can pick it up and play. This is how I'm playing it. Or you can buy it, and I think it's about $15.99 at the moment, which is a bargain, to be honest. If you like beat 'em ups, I would definitely pick it up because you'll really love it. If you just basically mainly into Turtles and stuff, it's definitely worth picking up. Or if you loved them as a kid, it'll remind you of the stuff about the cartoon as a kid. So let's go on to our last game now, which is the second beat 'em up that came out this year, which is really good as well. So we'll go over to that. Right, guys, this is the last game. This is the second beat 'em up that came out this year, and it's also a very good one indeed. Final Vendetta, by the same people who did Xenocrisis. There was a lot of talk of this coming out on the Neo Geo. It may do, who knows? If it does, I might end up buying it on the Neo Geo. But this is a 1-player or 2-player beat 'em up. They've gone for the pure arcade feel to this. There's no continues, basically. But there is extra lives hidden throughout the levels. Like each level's got an extra life, so it can be done basically with a bit of skill. But this is more like an old school beat 'em up. This is more like Final Fight, that type of style, other than off the top big combos and stuff. So it is a classic in its own. The only little complaint I probably got is you can't do your own buttons. Apart from that, let's go. So there's your character. You got the Neo Geo style. See, this definitely thinks it should have come out in the Neo Geo. Same button layout, everything, and various moves you can do. You got your 3 characters. You got your big guy, big powerful guy, you get the fast one, and you've got the standard sort of main character. So, in your arsenals, your normal punches and stuff, you have a jump button, you've got a jump attack. You basically got 2 buttons together to get people off you. The collectible then. You've got a special button, which you have to do movements and stuff to do the special button. You can dodge up and down by double tapping. You can dodge forward as well. You can dodge forward and jump pretty far. And so basically you can combo people into various things. You can also air juggle everyone. I'm trying to do it on him now. I'm trying to see if I can air juggle him. You can also catch. You can catch the enemies in the multiple one. You can grab and all that type of stuff. So you basically, if you do that, you catch them, and you're fast enough, you can basically juggle them with that as well. I say this is more of an old school game, so it does take a bit of practice. Like I said, no continuous, but that's not too bad to be honest, because as long as you find the lives in the levels, like you should have enough lives if you're good enough. There's also a special move you can do. You can add into combos as well. So we'll pick that up. So you punch it, and you can keep going on it if you're fast enough. Plus you can do this special move as well. Each character's got their own version of it. The big guy is the grappler, as it would be in these games. I'll show you what the first extra life is. I say each character's got their own sort of fighting style as well. I've got to have the knee. You got the uppercut as well, it's very much like Streets of Rage. Whee. You got to be careful on the second level. There's some barrels on the second level, and if you don't basically smash the barrels, you can basically get an extra life by jumping off the barrel and hitting the sign. You got to jump off it and slash kick it. There's also a block button. I forgot about that. I never everybody used it though. Maybe I should use it. I say the moves, they're not hard to pick off, but they're a bit more. You need to be a bit more precise, basically, with the controls. Like I said, there's weapons to pick up as well. I say I love the big chunky graphics, and definitely a shout out goes to the music in this game. The music's really good on all the levels. The music's pretty fantastic. This is set in, I think it's set in London. It's either London or Manchester. It's set in Britain anyway, basically. It's exactly what the streets look like in Britain. Everyone walks around like that, especially in the winter. You can do grab and you can basically throw them forward and kick, and you can throw them behind and knock enemies over. You can also hit them on the floor. I forgot you could do that. So I'm going to get that. Do that. The first extra life is for there. Yeah, picked it up. The second, like I said, the second level is the one on the sign. So let's get out yet. First boss. You can juggle the bosses quite a bit. Like that. If you're good enough, if you get the combos right, you can juggle them from one side of the screen to the next. Also do the grabbing. He moves out of the way.
Easy.
Killed him. Classic train level next, like very much like Final Fight. But like I said, this game is really good. It's really good fun. It's like I said, it's more of a tactical game than Turtles. If you want to survive and get to the end, you've got to use some good tactics on the characters, and you've got to learn your moves and your bosses and stuff. and each character, they do fight different. So this is a very good game as well. It's well worth buying, to be honest. It is fantastic. They've done a fantastic job. I say I will, if they run a Neo Geo version out, I may end up getting it. But there's no talk of that at the moment. They've been asked loads of times. And they were asked at Play Expo as well, like, but they're still not saying whether they do or not. But the big chunky graphics would suit the Neo Geo. There was even talk of a Mega Drive version coming out. They didn't think they'd be able to do it, but I think it was that Pyron guy that does Mega Drive hacks showed them how they could get all the graphics onto a Mega Drive in the Mega Drive tile. So you never know, it may actually come out in the Mega Drive, which would be pretty amazing if it does. But anyway, guys, that's Final Vendetta. Between the two beat 'em ups, they both, like, Turtles is more flashy, and it's got a lot of nostalgia and things like that. But I think ultimately, probably this is the better game. It may not have that Turtle stuff, and it may not have that crazy fun gameplay, but I think you would come back to this more. So I think ultimately this is probably the better game. But anyway, guys, that's my best games of this year. It's been 12 of them. There was a few other things that I could put on the list, like Terra Force. Not Terra Force. There's a couple of shoot-ups and stuff I could have put on there, but I like them, but I haven't played them quite as much as some of the other games on here. So, you have to whittle the list down a little bit. So, but yeah, that's basically my favourite games that I've played this year. Like I said, I haven't played all the AAA games. I can only go by what I've actually played and what I've enjoyed. I can't play everything. So, there you go. That's it. So, hopefully you guys have a good New Year's, and hopefully everything will be great next year. And hopefully some good games will come out next year. So it's already there's a few games coming out within the first 3 months of the year that look really good. So we shall see. This time next year we'll be doing another games list. So anyway, happy New Year's, guys, and I will catch you soon. Bye bye.